Welcome to BTR's Elite Partners podcast and blog series, where we invite our elite partners to share what they're doing with benefits and HR technology. Hey, I'm Holly Brummett, host of the series and business development coordinator for BTR. And with me is Therese Tomasek. Hey, Therese.
Hi, Holly. Hi, everyone. I am Therese Tomasek, and I am the consulting operations and vendor manager for BTR. And let me just say, I am so excited that we are bringing awareness to the market about our elite carrier and vendor partners.
Yeah, certainly me too. One of the exciting things about our partnerships is how much value they bring to our clients, not only to our clients, but to their employees. And that's so exciting. BTR is the gold standard as far as HR technology and communication with iBenefit. And we also think that our partners are solid gold too.
They definitely are. We created these partnerships to help employers and employees in all types of industries across the U.S. HR technology and employee benefits can sometimes be kind of complicated, right? So we here at BTR aim to not only simplify the experience, but also improve upon it with creative and customized solutions for employers everywhere. We're really proud of the Elite Partners program, and today we are extremely proud to feature Paylocity on the podcast. They provided a lot of great insight. We learned about their roadmap and what they're really excited about. So it was just wonderful talking with them today.
Yeah, it was. Let's get into it.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have with us Crystal Brantley and George Cadwell from Paylocity. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We are so happy to have you join us today. Would you please both introduce yourselves and what you do?
Yeah, thank you. Excited to be here today. My name is George Cadwell. I'm the Enterprise Account Executive for Paylocity. I handle the greater Tampa Bay area for the most part. Been with the organization for about 8 years and in the industry for about 12.
Awesome. Thank you all for having us. Excited to be here as well. I'm Crystal Brantley. I am an HCM account executive focusing in the mid-market space, located here in Southwest Florida, working with BTR and then also the groups around this area. I've been with Paylocity, just celebrated my 6th year anniversary. I've actually been in this industry 12 years now, which is crazy to think that, but excited to just watch this industry evolve and kind of really the play that the technology is taking in place.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on your work anniversary, Crystal.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, both for sharing kind of what you do and the areas you focus on. One of the questions that BTR gets a lot is, what are your partners really good at? What do they specialize in? What's their technology like? So would you please share a little bit about, what Paylocity is good at and what your kind of claim to fame is?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that drove me to Paylocity from another company was, besides the fact that they were beating me all the time, was they're good at a lot of things. We don't really specialize in one particular vertical. So we're able to kind of reach out and help all different kinds of organizations of all different sizes. I think our smallest client has 1 employee and our largest has almost 60,000. So we're really able to, target a wide net and cast it out and work with different organizations of different types and help them utilize the technology.
Kind of add to that, kind of looking at this space, when I first got in the industry, it was really just payroll. That's all we were really focusing on. And then kind of as things have changed and the needs have changed for payroll and HR individuals, it was so much more focused on technology. And when I made the transition over to Paylocity as well, I kind of thought I'm not really differentiating myself by, direct depositing any payments or remitting tax payments or, filing those quarterly returns, and saw the way that Paylocity was really approaching the market and just never looked a day back.
That's awesome. So talk a little bit more about that. You guys have described some successes that Paylocity is seeing as far as, where you've come from and what attracted you to the company. Talk a little bit more about your go-to-market strategy. What is it that Paylocity can do for clients?
Yeah, so one of the main things that we're able to do is give someone a web-based system. There's not a ton in the marketplace. There is more than there used to be when we originally started, when we were pretty much the first and only one. But we give the ability to integrate, have a single source database, not having to use several different systems, and also scale with organizations. So there's no different versions of the software. So we're able to put someone on a product that will work for them for the lifetime of their career at that organization, which has always been really cool for us. Now we have different roles in the organization. I'm enterprise, Crystal is mid-market, but we actually sell the same exact product. So there's no different space in that respect. It's just a matter of what we focus on.
And knowing that it's not, not like a one size fits all either. Every organization is going to be different. Kind of to add what George was saying, that like all of our clients being on the same platform is pretty amazing, but it's what's the best fit for them. And then also the way our architecture is built too, giving them the flexibility to utilize all of Paylocity solutions or bring in other systems that's specific to their organization that we can essentially integrate with that will address their individual needs as well.
I like that. BTR kind of operates with the same premise in mind, what's best for you, right?
Absolutely.
Because you know that every employer, every company is different, just like a thumbprint, right? And so that's really awesome that you're keying in on what their specific needs are, what, maybe any regulations, compliance, or whatever that they have to maintain. That's really helpful for them. You mentioned integrations, Crystal. Talk a little bit about what's going on with the integrations for Paylocity.
Yeah, and it goes back to kind of what I just mentioned, just on the architecture build. Like we're constantly focusing on what other solutions can we bring into play that we can set up this plug-in solution to be able to integrate for our clients. Going back to like when Paylocity was first developed, I remember hearing them saying that they had conversations of, do we do it in a closed system? Do we do it in an open environment? And it was like a back and forth. And then they were like, nope, let's do it open. Because open's going to give the clients the flexibility, not saying, hey, this is just that one size fits all. This is all you're getting. You don't need integrations, because that's not necessarily the case for everybody. So having the flexibility to continue to add those on, and the big integrations that we hear about are retirement plan providers or benefit administration tools. But then also it could be time and labor applicant tracking, because maybe a client has a specific system that they really like or they want to utilize. So it's like, well, how can we eliminate those manual processes but still give you exactly what you're looking for? We even did a survey the other day as far as additional solutions that we hear in the market space as far as like what our clients are looking for, to look at what else do we need to build from an integration standpoint. That way, when we have them onboarded, it's just a plug and play and they're good to go.
Tell us a little more what you learned in that survey. I'm interested.
Not really what I learned. It was more or less, hey, this is what we're hearing for the different aspects, whether it's a time and labor, whether it's just a different solution, maybe it's a communication platform, whichever. What are you hearing from the clients or the prospects that you're meeting with that they would like to integrate with? So kind of going back to Paylocity has all those solutions, but maybe, one of the areas isn't the best fit for them.
Yeah. George, anything else that you'd like to talk about with your go-to-market strategy or even integrations? How are you seeing success in your?
It's kind of piggyback on what Crystal said. It is helpful in this space to have that open API architecture and also the ability to integrate with outside systems. Every HCM company that someone's going to look at has a time and labor management system, but it's always not going to be a good fit, especially for like skilled nursing, home health care. They have very specific idiosyncrasies that they need particular things for. And, not calling our system generic, but, most HCM time and labor management systems are made to suit a lot of different organizations and not one specifically. So, that situation has been a tremendous help in that space, but other spaces as well, the 401k, the benefit administration systems. Some companies need different applicant tracking systems for like recruiting or staffing that we're able to integrate with. So it's been helpful to, go to all those different organizations and be able to suit their needs and not have to put them in that box. Let them have the options of, what technology works best for us.
Sure. Talk a little bit about how you're doing this all with security in mind. What kinds of steps are you going through to make sure all of those bells and whistles or locks and keys or whatever are in place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So being a publicly traded organization, we have to go through all those control audits and all those security audits to make sure that, everything's compliant and staying up. The system is based with twice the level of bank encryption, so I think 256. And it's always worked. Redundant backup centers, all of that fun stuff. We like to keep it secure. We don't want a data leak because we know that's not ideal for anyone ever. But yeah, we have a great security team, a great IT infrastructure in place that just keeps on, making sure our system's compliant. Even in our agreement, we have our SLA that's an uptime agreement. That's 99.99%, which is fairly good. I think that averages out to about 10 minutes a month that it wouldn't be up possibly.
One of the things I really want to know is what is coming up for you guys? What's on your roadmap? What exciting things are happening over there for you?
Yeah, so the HR space has shifted a lot over the past few years because of the pandemic and all of that. There's a lot more focus rather than on just particular processes. It's now on employee engagement, collaboration, accessibility. There's a lot more people in a remote workforce now. So Paylocity, while still building and keeping upgraded our regular modules, those core HR functionalities, we've also been focusing on community, chat functionality, video chat within the software, an all-in-one shop to allow employers to allow their employees to collaborate and work on documents together, do everything inside one system. We found that's extremely impactful right now, especially for organizations of all sizes, because we don't know when we might have to stay home again for a good bit of time. So yeah, hopefully not. I just knocked on wood a little bit right there, but Paylocity was at a benefit because we have 5,000 employees. Even before the pandemic, I think 80% of them were remote. I've worked here for 8 years. I've never stepped foot in an office once. I work from home, so we use our own system. We build tools that make our lives easier being remote employees. And now it's, paid dividends with kind of how the landscape has changed over the past 2 years.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the same thing because BTR is a 100% remote company too. We have been since day one. And when a lot of our clients were moving to remote access, we were giving them tools on Zoom meetings and tips on like what to do and what not to do, and how to share your calendars on Outlook and all of those kinds of things. So yeah, we see that a lot too. Crystal, are you seeing the same thing with engagement, or what are you seeing on your side?
That is a big piece of it right now. Like George had mentioned, if we go back to not having or to not being able to get out, which yes, that could happen, but then it's too like a lot of companies have shifted their focus. Like we managed this for a year, so with some of our team members being remote, why don't we, stay from that perspective if that's what those employees want to do? So that's really where I see the excitement right now with Paylocity too. And kind of going back when I first started here, it was us focusing on, as we're developing our software, it was those HR areas, those administrative functions like George had mentioned, that from an applicant tracking or an onboarding or time and labor, continually to build those out to get that full single solution. But then now it's okay, continue to enhance those because obviously the needs change in different areas that we need to address, but then also that employee perspective. So how do we make this that all-in-one collaboration platform? And it's the video capability I think is pretty amazing. It's something that a lot of our clients or prospects don't even imagine that would be a part of the solution that they could utilize. And when you bring up things like a, workflow or a document that can, collaborate just directly within Paylocity, they think of like so many just emails or outside of that they're actually, managing, that they could actually do complete, and then, the entire system, it's all right there. So that's really one of the biggest focuses is how do we get this, not only just the administrative functions, but really drive that employee experience and engagement piece of it, because it's their number one asset, within the organization. So, and as the kind of focus has shifted the past couple of years, that's where organizations are really saying, yes, this is like, we have to make this, number one focus here.
Yeah, it's cheaper to retain an employee than to hire a new one.
Absolutely. Yep.
For
And
sure.
especially in today's market where everybody's, it's just crazy how everything has changed. But for the good, I think some good did come out of it. And it's, the way that a lot of organizations now are handling things and making it easier on some of the employees from a work-life balance standpoint too. So I definitely see some
Absolutely.
benefits there.
Right.
Companies, employees, individuals, we all learned a
Mhm.
lot about ourselves through
Mhm.
that experience.
Absolutely.
Anything else on the roadmap or anything else exciting happening for Paylocity?
I don't think there's anything else on the roadmap that I'm allowed to share without our product and IT team.
Oh, come on, George. Come on.
Coming
Let
after
the cat
me.
out of the bag.
I mean, it's just continuous expansion of our current portfolio of products and also adding new and exciting things that, most HCM companies wouldn't even think about doing, think about offering, because a lot of that thought is, there's already a system for that. What we want to do is to make it as, collaborative and employee engaging as possible. Employees going into one system, being able to do things within that, because the second you ask someone to jump to different spots, it takes additional time. I'll sign into it later. I'll get to it later. And then it never happens. And then you have to remind them and all that. I only know that because I've gotten reminded about a training a few times today.
Got a couple of those too.
Right.
Better get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's
George.
exciting times for sure.
No, that's a good point. George, kind of piggybacking off of what you're saying about having to kind of get information from, different ways. So whether I'm on my computer or I'm on my phone, it's making sure I have that same connectivity through that platform. So I can look at a pay stub, I can look at my, my time on my mobile device and on, a web browser.
Yeah. It's a mobile first world. Everyone,
right.
I work for the company. I don't think I've been on the desktop version of it in 3 years.
Unless you're demoing.
Yeah,
It's not for yours. It's not for your account.
No.
Right.
I hear that. Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time with us today. Is there anything else that you want to share before we go?
I think we're good. Definitely appreciate this opportunity just to kind of give an update and provide you all some information on Paylocity and kind of what we're doing in the market and, what opportunities we have available for different organizations. So we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Super thankful to get the invite for it. Always like talking to you all.
Oh, thanks. You guys are a great partner, and we're really happy to have you on the podcast today. So thank you very much, George and Crystal, for joining us from Paylocity for the Elite Partners podcast series. Now to the listener of this podcast, if you are an employer looking for an HR technology solution, whether it be payroll, then admin, time and attendance, HRIS, HCM, or even year-round one-on-one enrollment support, BTR has solutions that will work for your culture and your budget. So our elite partners are making a difference in the technology and communication world, and we're here for it. So we'd like to get you more information. If you have questions, please reach out to us at btrprojects@bentechre.com to connect with our experts today. Thank you so much and have a great day.